True democracy is citizen-led. Politics needs an update. We demand a people's house. We demand a people's house. We are in crisis.
The Labour Party is in deep crisis. This isn't just another minor political hiccup. Labour MPs aren't just grumbling quietly anymore. They're voicing their frustrations loudly and clearly. A recent behind-the-scenes meeting has sent shockwaves through British politics, pushing the party to the brink of full-blown rebellion. This goes far beyond internal disagreements. It's turned into a political civil war that could redefine Labour's entire future. MPs have had enough, and they're expressing their anger in the most dramatic way possible. The rebellion against Keir Starmer has hit a breaking point. And this isn't just a small group of unhappy voices, it's become a full-scale uprising. We've got all the insider details on how that private meeting spiraled into a political battlefield.
I'm turning first to former Deputy Leader of Reform UK, Ben Habib. Good morning to you, Ben.
Good morning, Matthew.
Well, this must be a very jolly day for you. A very jolly day indeed.
Well, it's a remarkable insurgency that Reform UK has managed. When I joined the party in March 2023, the party was polling at 6%. And when Rishi Sunak called the election on the 22nd of May, we were polling at 16%. So we went up, almost threefold in our polling in a year and a bit.
If you thought your family arguments were tense, this Labour meeting made them seem like a peaceful tea party. The room was filled with Labour MPs, most of whom were on the brink of exploding with frustration, ready to confront their leader directly. It was pure chaos, shouted accusations, heated voices, and an atmosphere so charged you could almost feel the sparks flying. One MP stood up and called Starmer a spineless jellyfish right to his face. The shock was palpable, but before he could react, another MP slammed him for betraying the working class. These weren't just small disagreements over policy. These were deep, fundamental questions about Starmer's leadership, his commitment to Labour's values, and his ability to take on the Conservatives.
You're just spoilers. You're going to split the right-wing vote. You're going to take the Tories out, but you won't get a single seat. And of course, Reform UK got 5 seats in that election. We got 14% of the vote. And
do you think, out of interest, though, that you did split the right vote and that you have helped Labour to maybe a bigger majority than they would have anticipated?
Well, I mean, there were two things, I think, that happened at the last election. The first is there was a voter despondency. Voter turnout from 2019 went down from 67.5%.
Outside the room, the shouting was so loud it echoed through the open door. People compared it to the intensity of a full football stadium. This was no ordinary disagreement. Everyone could tell something bigger was happening. A group of Labour MPs had formed an alliance to publicly confront their leader. As Starmer tried to defend himself against the attacks, it seemed like he was slowly being overwhelmed by the harsh criticism. His responses were met with dismissive gestures, impatient hand movements, and skeptical eye rolls. Several MPs even walked out, refusing to listen to his defense when he tried to explain himself.
After manifesto, promised to bring net migration to tens of thousands, left office with that number at almost 1 million. The Tories are the ones who brought net zero legislation into being, enshrined it into law. She claimed in that interview that she was the one standing up to net zero legislation. Go and look at the records. Just last year, she voted for the Energy Act, which Claire Coutinho, the net zero secretary, remember it was the Tories who introduced a net zero secretary in the first place, she called it the most significant energy legislation in the country's history. Kemi Badenoch voted for it. Okay. So the idea that she was some lone voice protesting against the disastrous policies that the Tories implemented, that's nonsense. She was in the cockpit with a hand on the throttle, charting a course towards the cliff edge.
The Labour meeting turned into a political meltdown. 15 MPs openly demanded Starmer's resignation, calling him unfit to lead. Support is crumbling fast, even inside his own party. Elon Musk's involvement in the grooming gang scandal forced UK ministers to respond, showing how outside pressure now shapes British politics. Starmer faces daily rebellion from MPs who say he's lost direction and the party's core values. With elections near, Labour looks more divided than ever. Polling has collapsed, down 10 points in 2 weeks. Even safe Labour seats like Manchester and Liverpool are no longer guaranteed. Young voters are fleeing. Then came Starmer's planned meeting with Donald Trump, seen as political suicide by many in Labour. Trump's praise only made things worse, triggering a formal complaint from over 30 MPs. Now, a rebel faction of 45 MPs linked to Jeremy Corbyn is calling for radical change, or a complete breakaway. Starmer's constant U-turns have earned him the nickname Sir Flip-Flop. And the Tories? They're loving every second.